It's day 267. Today was a good day in the trenches. I finally broke through, made some substantial progress today. Well, not substantial because all my work for the past however many days has led up to today. But anyway, I finally got in to the TikTok server and I'm able to scrape data now. And I could basically start the script right now and be scraping. I think the number is like 25,000 leads an hour with virtually low friction, no problem. But the only problem is that the way that I'm scraping through hashtags, follower count and like count for some reason are not available for me to scrape, which are very important in this project because I need to niche it down and be able to send emails and campaigns that are targeted to specific follower ranges, and that's really the only data I have available to segment the list. So that's a bit of a problem. That's the only reason, but I could start scraping right now. And I will if it comes to that, if I can't figure this out. But like, I'm still getting emails and I'm still getting usernames, so I could still scrape, you know what I mean? But I could still use those to send emails to. But like I said, I need the segmentation. But ironically enough, as soon as I cracked through and was able to access the servers and the data, I realized not too long after that there's like public libraries that basically do everything that I spent like the last week working on. You just download them to your computer and they handle all like the authentication piece. So I've explained this before, but it's like, what I had to do is I had to go in the TikTok app. I had to, first of all, like break the TikTok app basically so I could allow a proxy to intercept traffic. And what that means is basically look at every single log that TikTok sends to its internal servers when you scroll or perform any action that requires more data. This request, I intercept it through a proxy. I then have to look at the logs, and typically in like the requests that I want where you're scrolling and pulling more data, there's things called tokens, headers, and like a bunch of authentication pieces that are needed to go ahead and interact with the TikTok server from like a third party. So what you have to do is you have to take all that, there's like fucking 50 of them and they're like the weirdest, like the most encryptic shit ever. But you take that and you put it into a Python script, and then you go to the TikTok server, the API, which is like the public interface, and you go to that and you basically like, I'm requesting for fucking more data on this hashtag, and you can do that basically like every 1 to 2 seconds. You could do it a lot faster, like you could do it at multiple, like 10 times in a second, but TikTok, you either need to like have a crazy infrastructure in place or you're gonna get rate limited or IP banned from TikTok, which isn't the worst case. This isn't the worst thing, but it prevents like super long-term scraping. Like I want to leave this shit on overnight, you know, and just have it run. So basically every 1 to 2 seconds, sending a request. Each request pulls back 20 profiles. Take those, it gets added to a file or to my Google Sheets, and you know, every 2 seconds, more requests. Every 2 seconds is 20, 600 profiles a minute times 60 is 36,000 an hour. But the caveat to that is I'm only scraping profiles with an email in their bio, and I haven't found out like what percentage of that is. Hopefully it's a bit higher, but it's probably pretty low, like 10%. So I probably have to scrape like 10 times the amount of leads that I want, which I need at least 100,000. So it's like I need to scrape 1 million profiles, which is a lot. But what I was talking about earlier, what I found, these public libraries that basically handle all the authentication pieces, like the shit that I was intercepting with the proxy. It handles all of that. So all you do is you just get your script and you run it and you tell it to like go to this hashtag and pull these requests, so you don't have to worry about authentication, which is nice because sometimes those tokens expire and you'd have to go get more and new ones, and sometimes you're also restricted because that's just one API point, that's just one interface to the TikTok server. So not all the data, for example, the follower count may not be available. I also could be some other like bugs and issues that I need to work through, but maybe I just can't access it from the hashtag page. But it would be pretty strange, I feel like, because I can access the bio and like a bunch of other information about the user and the profile, but not the follower count. It just seems a little odd to me. Like it's not like private data in any way, it's public. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's something broken there. But so yeah, I made substantial progress today. I got to work, and like I said, I could start scraping leads now, which is huge. Today was a bit of a breakthrough, but I did find that library that I was talking about, and that is much more scalable. But funny enough, I could not get that shit to work to save my life, so I might have to stick with my original method. However, I hope not, because with the library, it's just like, there's a website called GitHub. Maybe you're familiar with it, maybe you're not, but it's like an internet forum, I guess. I don't really understand it, but a bunch of like programmers and developers just upload like their projects there. Like they're, I don't know, for fun, I guess. It's all free. So that's what I'm talking about when like API access. That's one of them. And yeah, it takes care of like all the really hard shit that I fucking struggled through. So I'm gonna implement that, get the script up, and then to scrape at scale, basically all you need is like proxies, which is a different kind of proxy than what I was using, but just proxies to ensure that your IP address is pinging the server from like a different IP. Because if you made like 100,000 requests from one IP address, basically like one name, TikTok will be like, nah, this is not normal. We're blocking this guy. You know what I mean? So you gotta switch it out like every 50 requests or so. And then it's made from different IP addresses, different signatures, stuff like that. So yeah, it's within reach, and very soon it is I think it's the 20th, maybe the 19th. And my hard launch date is the 1st of February, so it looks good. Like I will have emails. I could have emails tomorrow. So I was stressing about that. Like, could I get it done in time? But I don't even know. It's Monday today, so yeah, I think by the end of the week I'll have my first initial batch of emails, if not sooner. But like I said, I want 100,000 for the launch date, and then I can work on different scripts, more iteration, and higher quality leads. But yeah, this web scraping shit's pretty interesting. It's very interesting because there's people out there that like you could just like hack into the TikTok server, which is like kind of probably illegal, but like just access all like the public data and just pull it and download it. That's how you get like millions like instantly. But I don't think I could figure that out. And if I could, it would be like the risk versus reward, especially because I'm using it to email, and for email campaigns, it's a little like bad light. But interesting. And yeah, I'm excited to be done with this project though. It's like fucking slave work for sure. Some of it's fun. I like the challenge, so that's the part I enjoy. But outside of that, I'm definitely more of a creative, and I wish I could just skip to writing emails and managing that shit and printing money. But it's part of the process, so you got to get through it. And also, once I build all this infrastructure out, by the time I run out of leads and I use up that first 100K, I can plug and play and get fucking 10 times more way quicker. So I'm building an asset that's like worth something. like I could sell this scraper. I don't know how much. I don't even know how much this shit would go for, but like, imagine a scraper that could get you 100,000 leads a day from TikTok, like verified leads, because it's like they put their email there, you know what I mean? So it's not shit emails. It could fetch a pretty price, but that's not my goal. I'm gonna use it to make fucking much more than that. So yeah, that's it for me today, and I'll see you all tomorrow.